again. So I have a super different video today. It was just kind of a observation that I made / universal download. It was just a clarity, essentially. And this is, I can't say this to be fact. I haven't tested this theory or anything. It was just an observation that I made today, and I asked the person that I made the observation of if it was kind of accurate, and they said yes, it was. So take it for what you will, whatever. So I work with someone who has schizophrenia, and just watching them today, I was in observation mode, and so every once in a while they will kind of turn their head and talk to what people will say, talk to themselves, talk to the air, talk to whatever, okay. And I had a realization, I just drove past a particle board that flew apart. Anyway, so I realized that, so we have thoughts that come into our head, yes? If you go to eat something and somebody has once said, well, don't eat that because it has pesticides in it or something, this is a dumb example. And so now when you go to eat that thing, you have a thought that pops into your head. Oh, there could be pesticides in it. That wasn't an original thought of yours. It was someone else's that you've then since adopted. Does that make sense? So we all have this bombardment of other people's thoughts that sometimes we think are our own thoughts, but they're actually not, if you dig down and shed off layers and all of that stuff, okay? All that stuff that takes a long time and a lot of hard work to do. So this person was talking and said the name of someone, and I just had a realization of, oh my God, they have just heard this from somebody else, and now this, whatever they're doing in the moment, a thought is then triggered by that. And I think with schizophrenia, you typically don't function on the same timeline as, say, people without schizophrenia might. And so when you speak to the person whose was the thought that it was originally, and so then you talk to that person, it's mind-blowing. Okay, so I don't know if any of that makes sense. So I'm going to give a fake name to maybe this is better understanding. So let's say, we'll just say Alex, okay? Alex and Sasha, I don't know, whatever. So those are the two names I'm going to use. Neither of them have anything or are even close to the person I'm talking about, because I'm not going to talk about that person like that. But say I, Alex, have schizophrenia, and Sasha one time said, hey, make sure you clean up your mess after you're done eating. Something simple like that. Okay, so now when I eat, sometimes Sasha's original thought pops into my head, and I think, oh, okay, I need to make sure I clean up my mess after I'm done eating. And so people with schizophrenia might say, Sasha, I'm cleaning up my mess after I'm done eating. And so to people who are observing, it would be like, what? What are you talking about? But it was a thought of Sasha's that she told me, or I heard, and now it has become a thought that comes into my head after I eat, that I need to clean up after I eat. And so I'm letting Sasha know now in real time I'm cleaning up my mess, even though it was probably said 50 years ago or so. You know what I'm saying? Like, the linear time frame that a lot of people exist on, I don't think applies to people with schizophrenia, at least not on the same scale as it does to us. So anyway, that was just an observation I had today. I don't even know if it makes any sense. It makes complete sense in my head, but I'm pretty terrible at explaining things. If you ask anyone who knows me personally, I'm not the greatest at explaining the things that are in my head. So anyway, maybe this makes sense to you, maybe it doesn't. Comment below, like, your thoughts or whatever. Like, I don't even know. So anyway, that was it. Have a good weekend, and like, comment, and subscribe. I also want to add one thing. So when I say universal download, that means that it is a thought that has never been put in my head by someone else, say Sasha or whatever, you know. So when I say universal download, it came from myself. It was an original thought. Now, when you dive deeper into universal studies and truths and knowledge and yada yada, you kind of realize that there are really no original thoughts, actually. There are just ones that we kind of pull down and have, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I say it's a universal download. Like, the information got delivered to me, and then therefore it was an original thought. Nobody has ever said this to me. I don't know if anybody has ever thought about that or anything like that. Like, at least in my life, I've never known anybody to think that way or think that or whatever. So anyway, it's original thought that I just had, like a clarity moment, whatever. And so that's why I call it a universal download. And sometimes I get them a lot, and then sometimes it'll go a long time where I don't get them. But I have realized that the clearer my thought process is, the less brain fog I have, the less stress, the less kind of things that are bubbling around in my head, the less that I have that, the more I get downloads. So I think downloads might be consistent. It's just whether or not I am able to fully pay attention to when they come or not. So anyway, that was that. And okay, bye. Again.